بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق والمرسلين سيدنا محمد الصادق وعد الأمين أما بعد. So inshallah today, after we finish the story of Dawood عليه السلام, we're gonna go over the story of his son, which is Sulaiman. So Sulaiman عليه السلام, he's also a prophet from the people of Bani Isra'il that Allah have give him the choice, either to become a prophet king or a prophet slave, and he chose to be a prophet king. And he said a dua. He said in the Quran, قال رب اغفر لي وهب لي ملكا لا ينبغي لأحد من بعدي إنك أنت الوهاب. He said, "Oh Allah, forgive my sins and give me a kingdom or a ruling that nobody will get after me. SubhanAllah. إنك أنت الوهاب. You are the one who gives." Then Allah have given him what? Number one, the wind. He can control the wind however he wants, as he wants, and that wind will carry him, and he, like, it's a way of transportation from place to another. It Back in the day, they used to take only horses, camels, and it takes months. The trip that it takes months, it take him maybe a day or like few hours to get there, because he can control the wind and he can go to places that other people can do. That's number one, wind. What else Allah have given him? Well, Allah have given him that he can control the jinn and the shayateen. Now, how and why? Well, this is one of the things that Allah have given Sulaiman. It's just certain powers or mu'jizat or miracles that Allah have given the prophets. And again, why Allah sent miracles to the prophets? To prove that they are on the right side. So if somebody came like, oh, I'm a prophet now, well, people say, okay, if you're a prophet, Allah will give you something or a sign or a miracle. What's your miracle? And that's where we can make sure, oh, that's a new true prophet or that's not true prophet. So, as you mentioned, the wind, he can control the jinn and the shayateen. And those shayateen, literally, among them, will go and dive in the water, and they get things for him. Anything that he asks them to do or work for him, they will do it. Um, okay. Additional things that also Suleiman has is he has the capability to communicate with animals. That's something that we don't have as well. And we're gonna come across like a story of the ant along the way. So Suleiman alayhi salam and the story of the ant. When Suleiman alayhi salam one day he left with his army, and the army is basically animals from jinn as well and shayateen, all of them under his control. Um, and he has a great and huge army. As you mentioned, from jinn, from ins, from humans, and also from animals, birds, and so on and so forth. Call it so many soldiers that he has, and those okay, awesome. So those soldiers, he took them to. He was checking his army, by the way, from time to time. He checked his army to make sure that everything as he wants. And this is one of the things the ruler or one of the things that the one in charge should take care of. Okay. Um, One day he was coming with his army, and he have heard a small sound, and that sound came from an ant. And the ant says, in the Quran, Allah says in Surah Saba, قالت نملة قالت نملة يا أيها النمل ادخلوا مساكنكم يا أيها النمل ادخلوا مساكنكم لا يحطمنكم سليمان وجنوده وهم لا يشعرون. This is very interesting. Now, what did the ant say? The ant says, uh, she was calling for the other ant. So look at this. The ant was not selfish. She was saw something and She notified the other ones. And there is, she told them, oh, people from the ants. She was calling the other ants. She was like telling them, oh, get away or just hide in your homes. لا يحطمنكم. That way you don't get, you don't die if one of the soldiers will step on you guys. So it told them to hide without their even knowing. وهم لا يشعرون. She has even good attention about the army of Sulaiman. And subhanAllah, that's something that we lack as well. So in the daily life that we have, sometimes people do things and they're like, we're thinking, oh, is it because of me, and how, and like, we should have good intention even if we see the bad. Okay, we see the bad, then we judge what based on what we see. But we as a Muslim, we should always have a good intention for others, and that intention itself, you'll get rewarded by it. But we'll come to that point inshallah later. So as you mentioned, um, yeah, لا يحطمنكم سليمان وجنده. What was the response of Sulaiman? Now, this is very interesting. Sulaiman says in the Quran, Allah says in the Quran, فتبسم ضاحكا من قولها. Sulaiman, he smiled from what she said. And he laughed. فتبسم ضاحكا من قولها, from what she said. And there is something that she said, by the way, لا يحطمنكم. And in the Quran, the word تحطيم, it's basically like broken, like a glass. And this is scientifically proven that ants are made from glass. Like not it could be broken, like literally. And this is something that interesting that the Quran talked about it 1400 years ago. How come if the Prophet ﷺ is making this up, there is no way that he's gonna know that details? Keep in mind the Prophet ﷺ lived in the desert in the Arab Peninsula. I'm pretty sure there is no ants in the desert. um, okay, so where are we? One second. But so we said when Allah mentioned in the Quran, فَتَبَسَّمَ ضَاحِكًا مِنْ قَوْلِهَا وَقَالَ رَبِّ أَوْزِعْنِي أَنْ أَشْكُرَ نِعْمَتَكَ الَّتِي أَنْعَمْتَ عَلَيَّ. Immediately after he have heard it, he smiled and he said, "Oh Allah, أوزعني أن أشكر نعمتك. Make me be able to thank you of things that you have given me. التي أنعمت علي, from the blessing that you have blessed me with." Subhanallah, this is something all we should also take care of, because subhanallah, we have so many things in our life that we don't actually think about. We have it as a granted. We should stop and see what others lack, not what you're lacking, what you're missing in your life. Because subhanAllah, that's a kind of human nature, is looking for the things that is missing in your life, but you don't appreciate or um, think on the things that you really have. Because subhanAllah, 10 years from now, you're like, oh, I wish that I had that car or that score or whatever it is, and then you really have it. I'm like, okay, what's next? No, we should appreciate what we have already as well. But as you mentioned, Sulaiman also was a prophet, and he's the son of Dawood. So what happened is, now Sulaiman alayhi salam, he was checking his army, and among his army, he was checking on the birds, and one of the birds was missing. And that bird, to be more specific, is the hoopoe. That bird was missing, and Sulaiman alayhi salam was very angry. How come he could leave his spot? That's his place, and it's like when somebody is in the army, he shouldn't be leaving. He should be staying where he's at. Um, so he was angry, and he said, either لَنُعَذِّبَنَّهُ عَذَابًا شَدِيدًا أَوْ لَأَذْبَحَنَّهُ. He gave him three options. He said, either we'll punish him, or we'll kill him, or he will have a reason why he wasn't there. Um, just one second. Okay, so we stopped on فتبسم ضاحكا من قولها وقال رب أوزعني وقال رب أوزعني أن أشكر نعمتك التي أنعمت علي وعلى والدي وأن أعمل صالحا ترضاه وأدخلني برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين. Immediately after he saw that ant, he said, "Oh Allah, أوزعني أن أشكر نعمتك. Make me able to thank you for things that you have given me." Because subhanAllah, Allah given things that out of normal, like the wind, like the shayateen controlling them, and so on and so forth. And to do good, and that things that I'm gonna do, that's gonna be good for you, O Allah, that will lead me to your mercy. And make me from your righteous people. And this is something all we should do in our dua, is asking Allah to become from the righteous ones. Um, as we mentioned, he checked on the birds and he didn't find that hippo, the hudhud. And he gave him three options. He said, either لأعذبنه عذابا شديدا, either I'll punish him a really painful punishment, أو لأذبحنه, or I'll kill him or like sacrifice him, أو ليأتيني بسلطان مبين, or he comes with his reason why he wasn't there. Now, after a while, that bird came, and he said, فمكث غير بعيد فقال أحط بما لم تحط به. He came and he said, I've seen things that you haven't seen. وجئتك من سبأ بنبأ يقين. And I came from Saba. Saba is a place, by the way, guys, in Yemen. Okay, so where was Sulaiman? He was in Palestine. So from Palestine to Yemen, that's a long way. And the bird actually flied back and forth, and he saw people. What did he saw in Saba? He said, إني وجدت امرأة تملكهم إني وجدت امرأة تملكهم. He saw a woman. She was ruling and she is in charge of the kingdom. وأوتيت من كل شيء ولها عرش عظيم. Allah giving him from everything that she could wish, and she has a great palace. What happened? What did he see? What else? He said, وجدتها وقومها يسجدون للشمس من دون الله. Now this is very interesting. He saw something abnormal, which is she and her people were worshiping the sun, not Allah. They're not worshiping Allah, they're worshiping the sun instead of Allah. وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ أَعْمَالَهُمْ, and the shaitan beautify their work. It's like they make them think that this work, worshiping the sun, is the best thing ever that they could do. And instead of worshiping Allah, they're starting worshiping the sun because of the shaitan is deceiving them to do so. So what happened after that? So he came back and he told him the deal. He told him about those people. And Suleiman's response was, he want to make sure that the hudhud or the bird is telling the truth. And this is also interesting. He didn't just believe him right away. He said, قال سننظر أصدقت أم كنت من الكاذبين. He said, we'll see if you are saying the truth or you are from the liars, people who are lying. He said, okay, take this. He took a pencil and he wrote a message. Take this message and send it to them. What's written in that message? Who did he send it to? Well, we said that he went to a place called Saba. Now, the one in charge, her name is Bilqis, which is the one who is ruling in Yemen. Type. What was written in the message? It says, إنه من سليمان وإنه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. This message is from Sulaiman and Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What was the message? It says after that, ألا تعلوا علي وأتوني مسلمين. It's a really short message. Do not be arrogant and come submissive and come Muslims. Come in submissive, like literally, like subhanAllah. That's it. That's all what it says. And he took that message, he took it and he threw it when Bilqis, which is the one in charge as we mentioned, by herself in the palace. Um Now, after that, she saw that message and she was a very smart woman, by the way. So when she saw it, she called the people, in charge with her, around her, and she asked them, what should we do? The people around her, what they said, you know, نحن أولو قوة وأولو بأس شديد. We're very strong people. We can just go and fight. And they're starting, to heat it up for her. And she, as I mentioned, she was a very wise woman. She decided, no, the way he gave me the message, that means he has so much power to the point that we didn't even see him or anybody. The message came to my room. So if you think about it, he has special capabilities. So she was thinking, what if we send him a gift? Allah says in the Quran, وإني مرسلة إليهم بهدية فناظرة بما يرجع المرسلون. She's gonna give that. So she decided to give them a gift, Sulaiman a gift. So she collected gold, things, antiques, whatever they can carry, wherever is worth it. She's very wealthy, by the way. She has a lot of money. So she gave them a lot of money and she sent it to Sulaiman. So those people took them like a month going to Palestine, walking. And then when they arrived to Sulaiman, Sulaiman was very angry. Allah says in the Quran, فلما جاء سليمان قال تمدونني بمال فما آتاني الله خير مما آتاكم بل أنتم بهديتكم تفرحون. Sulaiman says, oh, you're coming with me and you're bringing me with money, trying to brag me or trying to just shush me? No, he has a bigger message. His message is to make sure that they gotta go and follow the deen of Allah, Allah's religion. He said, what Allah have given me, it's better than what you are giving me, what you're trying to give me right now. And what was his response was, but you are happy with your gift. ارجع إليهم. He said, okay, take what you brought with, send it back. I don't want it. I don't need it. That's not what I want. That's not the goal. He said, ارجع إليهم. This is very interesting. فلنأتينهم بجنود لا قبل لهم بها ولنخرجنهم منها ذلة وهم صاغرون. He said, go back to them. Suleiman said, go back to them, for we will certainly like send an army that they will not have a power to go against. Again, he has the jinn, he has the wind, he can just blow them all out and they can all fly, like literally. Um, and they will never resist, they'll never be able to resist. And what else? They will become humiliated. And the stronger of them will be like the weakest. Subhanallah. وهم صاغرون. Then Sulaiman alayhi salam, by the way, guys, keep in mind, it took them a month to go. This is gonna take them a month to come back. Then another month. So we'll talk about it, what happened. Sulaiman was sitting after like a month before they come. Sulaiman was talking to his servant, the people around him. So what happened is when Bilqis have saw those messages, they came back with the money. And she was very shocked. She's like, okay, so he's not here for money, he's here for something greater. She collected her people around her and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go to him and see what's the deal. Because subhanAllah, again, the way he presents himself, it's very powerful because the message. That's 1 second. Okay. Yeah, as we mentioned, he has certain capabilities that other people don't have. So she kind of get the idea. She decided to go to Palestine from Yemen. So it's gonna take her a month. Now Sulaiman know that she's coming now. He knows that she's coming. And he made a small gathering with the servant that he has. And among them is Ifrit. Now, what is Ifrit? Ifrit is basically in the shayateen, there is ranks. The Ifrit is the strongest among them. Okay? It's the strongest. He has certain powers that other shayateen don't have. Um, he asked him, who can bring me the throne of Bilqis? Who can bring me her palace here? And this is very interesting. Um, but the Ifrit says, قال أنا آتيك به قبل أن تقوم من مقامك. قال أنا آتيك به. I'll give him to you before you even sit from your like sitting. Usually Sulaiman sit from Fajr until the whole time. This is his sitting. They usually sit and do adhkar and so on and so forth. He said, within that time, which is like around 6 hours, I'll bring the palace here. Um, Now, what happened is someone else from the people, like us, humans, he said to Sulaiman, قال الذي عنده علم من الكتاب أنا آتيك به. The one who has knowledge, a human like us, has knowledge of the book. He said, I will bring it to you. قبل أن يرتد إليك طرفك. Before you even close your eye, literally eyelashes. Before you even do that, you will see the palace here. Now, hold on. He's a human like us. How come he doesn't have the power to carry, you know, this palace from Yemen all the way to Palestine? He can't physically, he can't. How come he's saying something that he can't do? Well, that, as we mentioned, he has a knowledge of the book. Now he know that the name of Allah the greatest, which is Ismullah al-A'zam. And this is very authentic in the hadith that the Prophet ﷺ, have heard one of the Sahaba was making a dua, and in that dua was calling Allah by the name of Allah the greatest. And in the authentic hadith, if you made a dua, if you make a dua with the name of Allah the greatest, your dua will be answered. Now, after he made that dua, a palace came. Now, the Sulaiman, he said, قال نكروا لها عرشها ننظر وتهتدي أم تكون من الذين لا يهتدون. He said, change a little bit of the places, like change this color, change this to make sure that it's not exactly the same, but it's similar, you know? Um, لعلها تهتدي. She might be guided. She might follow Islam. She might like become a Muslim. And again, I know the word Islam wasn't there, but the meaning of Islam, which is submitting yourself to Allah or to the Lord, it's the same thing. Um, Now, when she came, immediately the question was, the people asked her, "Is that your palace?" Now she was smart. She stopped for a second. She didn't say yes. She didn't say no. قال أهكذا عرشك. Is that your palace right there? قالت, she said, كأنه هو. It's like it is. It's like she didn't say yes or no. She said it looks like it. Because if she said yes and she haven't checked everything, it might not be. If she said no, but it actually does look like it, but it's not exactly. So she said it looked like it is mine. So this is very interesting of her. Okay. So we're almost done. We still have time. That's good. That's good. Now what happened after that? Um, Yeah, Allah says in the Quran why the reason why she was a Muslim. Subhanallah. وصدها ما كانت تعبد من قبل وصدها ما كانت تعبد من دون الله. Why the reason she was not Muslim or she was not believing in Allah is because she was worshipping something rather than Allah, which is the sun in their case. إنها كانت من قوم كافرين. She was from the people, or her people was non-believer. That's one of the reasons why she is from them. And that again, that's not a reason why you become non-Muslim or kafir. You still have a brain. We have something here to use it and to think and to put things together in order to make it make sense. Now, then after that, قيل لها ادخل الصرح فلما رأته حسبته لجة. Now, the shayateen, they made something that's very, very uncommon and something it's kind of brand new at their time, which is glass. So, Bilqis, she didn't know that this is glass. She looked at it and the whole thing was water. And on top of the water, there's like a layer of glass that Sulaiman commanded the jinn to do it that way. When she was about to enter, she raised her thawb, or like the clothing that she was, because she thought it's water. فلما دخلته حسبته لجة وكشفت عن ساقيه. She thought it's water, but it's not water. It's actually glass. It's like normal things that you're walking on. It's like illusion for them at that time. They didn't know that these things exist, but it's, well, the jinn did make it. Suleiman commanded them to do so. So she was very surprised by that. Um, okay. قال إنه صرح ممرد مقارير. This is like it's basically made from glass, so don't worry, just walk on it. Then what did she say? After she saw all of these, she saw her throne, she saw her palace, she saw these things that this is not normal. She's, again, keep in mind, she's a king. And she has luxury life. This is way higher than what she was living in. Immediately she said, قالت رب إني ظلمت نفسي. Oh Allah, I did injustice to myself. وأسلمت مع سليمان لله رب العالمين. And I believed in Sulaiman to Allah, the Lord of the Alameen, the Lord of the World. Okay, now let's talk about the final part, which is the death of Sulaiman alayhi salam. How did Sulaiman alayhi salam die? Well, one day, Sulaiman, he commanded his servant from the jinn to build a huge building for him. And Sulaiman, he sit on the place that he usually pray at, and the jinn will dare be able to enter there. They will never have like an amount of courage to go there because they know they will be vanished. They will die. They will immediately, خلاص. He can destroy them in like a sec. It's not, he has certain powers as I mentioned. So they were so afraid of entering to him or making like in any way. So they were servant to him and they were doing everything that he was telling them without even, arguing with him. Now, Suleiman was sitting on the place that he's sitting at. And that place, we said it's a place of worship. He died while he was sitting. And he was sitting exactly like this. Now, under his hand, it's his stick. He was sitting on the chair and he was doing this. I don't know if you guys can see me. Let me just adjust that. Oh, this is too big. Oh, big. So he was sitting on a chair, like I'm sitting right now, and he has his hand on his stick, like this. So what happened is the Prophet Sulaiman actually died while he was sitting that way. The jinn did not know that he died. And there is a beautiful ayah in the Quran. It says that if the jinn know the future, they would release themselves from the painful punishment. If they know, a lot of people think that, oh, yeah, there is certain people tell that they know the future in a certain way. Well, we as a Muslim, we know for sure that no one know the future except Allah. Now, the shayateen will try to look and try to peek and try to go to the seventh heaven to check and to see what's new, what's gonna happen in the future. They can try, but again, that's where the meteorite comes and try to get them and they know if they try to go higher and they'll be like hit and they'll die. So they're so afraid of doing that as well. Um, okay. Then, as we mentioned, he died when he was sitting, and the jinn continue working day and night, day and night. They did not know that Sulaiman died. Funny enough, subhanallah. And what did make them sure? What did lead him to know that Sulaiman died? Well, the Quran says, وَمَا دَلَّهُمْ عَلَى مَوْتِهِ إِلَّا دَابَّةُ الْأَرْضِ تَأْكُلُ مِمَّنْ سَأَتَهُ. So there is like a small creature will eat the wood, and Sulaiman's um, stick was made out of wood, and that animal, that creature, ate big portion of that stick. And guys, remember, he was tilting on it, so there is pressure. When that stick could not handle the pressure anymore, it broke. فلما خر تبينت الجن أن لو كانوا يعلمون الغيب ما لبثوا في العذاب المهين. Immediately after he fell, if the jinn know the truth, if the jinn know the future, they would never be in that punishable work that they used to do every single day. Um, okay, so technically we're done. We have a few things that we learn from this story. Number one, Allah gives the kingdom to whoever Allah wants. Remember, Allah gave Sulaiman the kingdom, he's ruling and he has certain capabilities. Okay, all the creature do dhikr or tasbih to Allah. وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا يُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِهِ وَلَكِن لَّا تَفْقَهُونَ تَسْبِيحَهُمْ. Everything is making tasbih, but we don't understand how and why. How they're doing it. So subhanallah, this is something interesting. Where can we see this in the story? We can see it when the animal when that ant he called the other ants to tell them to hide, subhanallah. And that was interesting. And number three that we can learn from this story is every animal has a purpose. Like, for example, the hudhud or the hippo who went and he flied over there and he noticed something that is not normal, subhanallah, and he told Sulaiman about it. All the animals have their own, purpose, which is, as we mentioned, they have their own unique purpose. Right. Number four is um, we as a Muslim, we as humans, we should lead people or tell people about worshiping Allah. And we see that in the Hudhud story when he went to Saba and came back. Um, the jinn is like in a different dimension, like people, places. It's like humans, but I don't know if you guys know, but they have responsibility as we do. So there is a good jinn, there is Muslim jinn, and there is bad jinn. Um, and yeah, there's good ones and bad ones. How do we know this? Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah did not create the ins, the jinn, which is shayateen, and ins, which is insan, the humans, except to worship. So both of us have the same goal. And we also see that in a different surah. We cannot talk about it when we talk about the Prophet's seerah. قل أوحي إلي أنه استمع نفر من الجن فقالوا إنا سمعنا قرآنا عجبا. The shayateen was listening to the Prophet ﷺ when he was reciting the Quran, and they're like, we have heard something very abnormal, like we have never heard it before, which is the Quran. And they become Muslim and they told other people, other jinn about it, and the whole tribe become Muslim. So subhanAllah, again, they're like us. They have one purpose, which is worshiping Allah alone. Okay. Um, the jinn will never, and ever know the future. And this is a lie that a lot of people might get deceived by. They'll never know the future, guys. Only Allah does. Okay, number seven is the calamity happened, and oh, there is one part, guys, of the story that we didn't mention. Let's talk about it really quick. One day, Sulaiman alayhi salam, he was in the field. He enjoyed riding the horses, seeing horses, and so on and so forth. And one day, um, he was watching horses after he prayed Dhuhr until Maghrib. What? What about Isha Salah? What about, sorry, not Isha. What about Asr Salah? Well, he missed Asr because he was watching this. Now, what he did is he called all those horses and he sacrificed all of them. He killed all of them and he sold his arm. I'm not sure if he did he donated the meat, but he killed all of this for the sake of Allah because he said those animals, those horses, they led me from worshiping Allah. And this is something that you should also have in mind, guys. If you are playing Minecraft or playing a game, whatever it is, Blue Cat, for example, I know you guys watching and laughing now. I know. Um, or Fortnite. So if it's praying time and you're playing the game, what is more important? That is the question that we should ask ourselves. What is more important? Is it Salah or the game? Well, the question is you can pause the game. You can, even if you lose, it's okay. You can play again. But what if you miss the Salah? You know, guys, certain scholars says if you miss the salah, you have either two options. Either khalas, you're done. That salah is already written that you didn't pray it. Or you can just remake it. But again, it's not going to be the same reward as the one that you already make it on time. So this is something important, guys. Keep it in mind. Okay? Awesome. Okay. Final thing is we should appreciate a lot of things that we have. And we should always look on the people under us to appreciate what we have, number one, and to give and to donate for things that we have. By the way, donating or helping others, you can donate like $1. It shouldn't be like you can start somewhere. It doesn't have to donate like all what you have. You know what I'm saying? Yani you could donate in the masjid, you could be 30 cents, whatever you can, guys. I know it's just little, but it's you gotta grow with it. So subhanAllah, it's good to have the habit of helping others. Because subhanAllah, you never know the future. Maybe in few years you'll have like your own organization. You'll be able to help others to help others. So yeah, may Allah make it easy. So that's it, inshallah, for today. We'll stop here. Inshallah, next time we definitely gotta talk about the Prophet Elias. Did we even mention the Prophet Elias? Um, yeah, it will be multiple prophets. Will be Elias. Will be Eliasa because they're very short, and also Dhil Kifl, three prophets, and we might go in Zakaria, maybe. Yeah, maybe Zakaria and Yahya, because those four prophets or five prophets, their stories are really short in the Quran, and we'll just combine them all together in one video. Do you guys have any questions? Okay, no questions. All right, if there is no questions, we'll finish today. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك لا إله سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. سلام.